Good morning. This is John Harder with another episode, live broadcast for TBC, spreading the wealth of TBC and free energy. You know, I was on the phone with my brother last night for probably about 2 hours. He is a truck driver, so to him, it's no issue to talk for hours while he drives. And to me, it was no issue either because I had a lot of leads to put in, so I was doing that while we talked. Right. So the subject for today is, what questions do people ask? Well, that depends very much on how they think about TBC. Of course, I mean, yeah, what questions do people ask about TBC, right? Well, one of the first questions is it for real, or can you use it? Can you use it? That's one of the first questions. Well, and is it legal? Is it legal? That's another question. Now, maybe you can help me out a little bit here as to what other questions do people ask? But those are some of the basic ones that people tend to ask is, is it real? Is it legal? Where can you use it? Or can you use it? Or is it in exchanges? What exchanges is it in? Or how do I turn it into cash? And unless you have a relationship with people that ask these type of questions, you can't very easily convince them with just with a couple of words, unless you get to know them, and so that you can begin to help them see the bigger picture, right? Because the biggest one of the biggest factors in making something or idea, bringing an idea to light and have it adapted by many people and used. In other words, make an idea big in the, should we say, marketplace, or where many people can benefit from it. It takes faith. Believing is one of the biggest factors in this equation. First of all, when the person that comes up with that idea, you've got to see the big picture in it, and you got to believe it. You got to believe, you got to be able to see in your mind that this is really, this really works in the marketplace. This is really great. This is a wonderful thing, right? And in your mind, you got to already be able to see people enjoying it, enjoying the benefit of that use, right? And now some questions, I know that with some people it's actually quite easy to get past some of these questions. Like, for instance, is it legal? Well, let me see. Is it legal? Well, in Canada, we haven't legally had a government since 1931. Is that legal? If if the queen on the dollar bill or on our money, and if that's all legal and we haven't had a government here legally, then what would you actually define legal anymore? And so another way of looking at it is what does legal really mean? What does that what defines legal? Is do you define it by moral standards? You see, if we define it by moral standards, which is actually the only real law, is that of treating others the way you want them to treat you. If we hold to that standard, we will really go places in life. We treat others the way we want to be treated. I am not saying we treat others the way we want to be treated when they treat us the way we want to be treated. That is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is we treat them the way we want to be treated regardless. You know, one of the trainers that I have very much used in my personal development, oh, now I lost my thought. Apologize for that. Maybe it'll come back later. But if we treat others with the respect that we want to be treated. Oh, now that line came to me. Okay. The trainer, one of the trainers that I was referring to, he uses this line quite a bit, that nothing can happen on the outside of you in your life unless it happens inside first. Nothing can happen on the outside of you in your life, in your body, in your environment, in your personal life. Nothing can happen unless it happens inside first. You can't be robbed by an outsider. You can't be robbed by somebody else unless you have robbed yourself inside first. If a person has fear of being robbed, that is the invitation for someone to come and rob you. If a person has the confidence of success and of accomplishing much in life, of helping people, then that is the way you're going. That is the direction that you are going. If that is your predominant thinking, then that is where you are going. And this gives me tremendous joy to realize that. And that gives me a lot of motivation to keep on training my mind and developing into a more excuse me, a more constant mindset of joy, peace, happiness, and compassion. That my goal is that of helping people who are in need. And the biggest help that people who are in need, the biggest need they have is mental stability. Because all of the outside, everything on the outside will come if the mental knowledge is there and the mental stability is there. What you can, if you can think it, you can do it. If a person, now let me just say up front here, the scenario that I'm going to give us right now is only for illustrations, and I think you will understand that. If a person begins to think, I wonder how I would set a house on fire without anybody noticing it. How would I do that? And you begin to think that, and all kinds of ideas will emerge, because that is the thought pattern. That is what you have asked for. And your subconscious will come up with all kinds of ideas, evil as it may be. That exact same idea works thousands of times more powerful on the positive side. We can start thinking, I wonder how I can, what it would take, to for TBC to get to the next level, and maybe even the next and the next. What would we need for the average person, the average store owner, the average business person, hair salon, or salon, or whatever you call it, in the average blacksmith or hardware store or whatever have you. What would it take to make it very easy for them to accept TBC? For any retail business to accept TBC. And now, of course, we know that the first thing that happens is when you approach a retailer and you talk about how would you, about integrating TBC, the first brick wall that you hit is, well, I have to pay my suppliers and the fiat, and the fiat money. You see, that is a bridge that is wide open to be that is a space that is wide open to be filled right now. And so one of the bridges that I have thought about, and as I was thinking about this, there's one idea that came to me, and it's going to involve hiring some programmers. But I have thought about this quite a bit. I have talked about it to my friend who is also in TBC, and I believe that it's we're going to be opening this up for with discussions platform somehow, so that we can, whether we're using what I mean by that is, I would like that we use a secure platform to share all of those ideas, because we want to remain this between people, us TBCians who are in tune with what we're talking about. And what I am talking about is creating a platform that makes it very, very easy for any person, even a yard sale, to just go ahead and enter all of the items that you want to sell. And with a barcode, you can accept TBC. You see, TBC is already set up with a barcode. All we need now is to, with the barcode capability. Now, all we need is a system, a platform that where you put the price in of the item, and you can, a picture probably, and the price, and it'll generate a barcode for it. Now you can scan it and pay for it through your phone, that kind of thing. And this could be used in and grocery stores and hardware store, anywhere, and make it a decentralized platform, one that cannot be attacked. You see, that is a, like I said, that would be a bridge that is wide open for to be created right now, and it is now is a very good time to already begin to do all the planning, everything that it takes to create a platform like that, right? So, and then when people ask the question, where can I use it? Well, now it makes it very easy to you that it can be used practically anywhere. Here's another idea that can come into play at the same time. I know, and we all know, that everything has been very, very commercialized. Everything has been set up with very large chains, large stores, and large chains of stores, businesses, usually in large chains. Well, that breaks down local economy. It it undermines local business. In the town here in Dalhousie, where we live, over the past, I don't know, 20 years, many businesses have closed down. And now many of what used to be thriving stores in town here, now some of them, they're empty, others are being used to live in as apartments. And and people have to drive, sometimes many of them, quite a distance to work when they could be working right here. You see, what TBC with a platform like that could do is to again build up local economies so people can run business locally. Local, no, we wouldn't call them, probably wouldn't call them blacksmiths anymore, but local shops in town creating things for local people. Local furniture producers that make local furniture instead of these, mass productions of furniture out of sawdust. Sawdust that, you get it home and you put it together very carefully so it doesn't fall apart while you're putting it together, so the pieces whole, because it's only sawdust and a bit of glue kind of thing. And then, of course, wood grain kind of printed on there so it still looks like wood. And can we start with, building reality again? Why all this fake? What a fake world. Let's build reality. Let's bring local business back home. Um, you know, by doing that, there is very much tax that can be eliminated. Very, very much tax that people are paying right now that doesn't need to be, because it's a big world of hustle and bustle, and we don't really need that. We could be enjoying our time, providing services and goods for local people and help local people prosper. Um, you see, to me, it's like we have we are most people are too busy. We're too busy. We don't know our neighbors. We don't know who our neighbors are. We get up early. We go to work. The neighbors all get up. The cars all leave, go to work, and you come home late. And oh man, I'm tired. And they watch a little bit of TV or whatever and go to bed. So how about bringing life back? How about enjoying life? How about not spending so much time working and spend a lot more time getting to know your neighbors and enjoying life? What am I? The no. What kind of comments are they talking?
Oh, just I like the video. You're doing a great job.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Things about what you're saying too, helping people.
Yeah. So my idea is that we use something like Unseen or maybe Telegram or something where we form a group, where we kind of form a group of people who are interested in developing a platform like that, where we can share ideas in a way that will help us, so that we can show people a a picture, a platform where it makes it very easy for average businesses to to register their products and everything and begin using TBC on those type of levels. And of course the benefit that that there is in getting TBC. So if that makes sense. Um, can I ask a favor of those of you who are watching? If you are in tune with what I'm talking about, that we start sharing ideas and on a private basis and start developing ideas about this, and to eventually move forward to hire programmers for a platform like that. Um, could you type in TBC for me, or TBC works for me? See what and here's what I wanted to share next. If you don't know who Jeff Berwick is, if you don't know what Anarchapulco is, or should we say the Dollar Vigilante, well, he lives in Mexico. This guy lives in Mexico. He's actually originally from Canada, but he lives in Mexico now, and he does seminars all over the world, in many different countries anyway. And he has, in Mexico, he has each year, I believe it's in February, where he has a it's not a workshop, but it's not a conference. It's sort of like a conference, but it's a several days. I think it's 3 or 4 days of of seminars, and it's I'm trying to think what it's called, but anyway, there are a lot of speakers, and and when he has that, there are many programmers coming there. There are very many blockchain programmers there, and so that is where that is where I want to be next February, and so I want to develop an idea that I'm hoping that us as TBCians will develop, so that we have a very good idea of what kind of a platform we want made. And then there I want to develop a group of programmers that will create that platform for us. And also that platform would also provide a layer of complete privacy, so that transactions are actually not none of the transactions can be how should I say forwarded to. That's not what I mean. What I mean, spied on, kind of thing. you know how we're spied on everything that we do. Well, this would be a completely secure platform, so that when people use TBC, all on that platform, it would provide a layer of security that can't be that can't be monitored, as it were, by outside sources. So that kind of thing would be a huge advantage, because it could be used worldwide. It would be decentralized, and there would be no cost, as it were, for using it, or anything like that. It would be a platform that is provided for everybody, that kind of thing. So anyway, so for those of you who are watching this video on YouTube or whatever, let me invite you. TBC is right now growing fast, and we have overcome the technical challenges that we had last year in 2017. And those of you who had come on board with our community, and you walked away or left it alone because of the technical issues that we were having, we have now built a brand new system from the ground up. It is robust. It is very fast. We can now do thousands of transactions per second. The transactions verify within like 30 seconds to like 2 minutes. It is, and we are now in migration to the new blockchain. So those of us who are in TBC, and here's the thing, guys, if you are sitting on a gift that you had received, a gift of Kringles, and you aren't migrating to the new blockchain, you will lose that gift, because those coins will be lost. They can't, the blockchain, the old blockchain will be shut down after the migration is complete. That will be shut down, and there you will have no access to the old wallet. So you need to come and help us get you to the new wallet. Okay, if you would like my help, I have the links in the description. You can contact me through my website. You can I have email address there that you can contact me. I would be delighted to help you get on the new blockchain. Now, people who still sign up on the new blockchain, of course, there is a gift there too. But those gifts that you got before, if you got the 50,000 to 100,000 Kringles, is a much, much bigger gift. So it's just a great idea to come on to the new blockchain so that you don't lose those coins. Because right now, if you got the gift of 100,000 and you don't migrate, right now that's a gift of about $14,000, which actually would be worth, well, the gift of 25,000 Kringles at the full price of the coin will be worth $700,000. Now, the 50,000 is twice that, obviously, and the 100,000 is double of what the 50,000 is. So you can quite easily figure out the math of the wealth that you are sitting on right now, what it becomes as TBC goes up in price. The price of TBC is now pegged to the price of gold, by meaning that every member that comes into TBC is is on the coin worth 1 grain of gold. Okay, so at the full price of a TBC coin, 1 TBC coin will be worth 1 billion grains of gold. Okay, 1 billion grains of gold. Each member, okay, will be worth the equivalent of 1 TBC, meaning 1 billion times 1 grain of gold will be the total of TBC's worth. Does that make sense? So let's get onto the new blockchain and claim the wealth. You see, as soon as you're migrated, as soon as your coin is available to you on that your migration is complete, that money that you have will be spendable on from the new system. So you might want to get on that and get yourself migrated. Okay, and for those of you who are not in TBC, let me just invite you to come on board with TBC, because the monetary systems in the world as we know them are mostly falling apart. And TBC is here to bring about an emerging economy that will make the current economy obsolete. There is tremendous wealth in TBC. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Oh, and by the way, if you want to know more about TBC, if you aren't in TBC and you want to know more about it, the best place to educate yourself is at blog.thebillioncoin.info. The link is also in the description below. There is much information that you can go through. All right. And by all means, as I said earlier, contact me if you have any questions. Let's go and see who's all here. All right, Crypto TBC. Sorry, Crypto Crypto Review, Pedro. Thank you so much for hanging out with me here. Mary Ann Murphy. Hey, I have seen a lot of your work. I am blown away by what you and your son are accomplishing. It's awesome. It's great to see. Thank you so much for hanging out with me here. Yes. Stephen Cuffey, thank you very much for hanging out with me this morning as well. Murphy. Marjorie Harder, thank you for hanging out with me. For those who don't know, Marjorie Harder is actually my wife. My wonderful wife. Okay, Mahalko88, thank you very much for hanging out with me. Great to have you. And Stephen Murphy. Okay, Stephen. Thank you, everybody. I will go through the chat after, because I am kind of a slow reader, so I'll do that. I'll do that and see what. I don't really see any questions, and I believe my wife would have let me know anyway if there was. So thank you so much for hanging out with me this morning, and you have a wonderful, wonderful day or evening or whatever it is where you are. Peace.